So in the last video we spoke about searching elements using XPath technique. Now we'll be talking about CSS selectors. So while we were able to search all the elements on the page using XPath technique, the question arises is why we are going to see the next set of rules for CSS selectors. So that is a very good question, and the answer is CSS selectors allow you to select elements or locate elements on the basis of styling properties. Now there are difference between these two techniques definitely in terms of set of syntaxes and in terms of pros and cons as well. So like CSS selectors are generally fast when it try to locate element on the page. XPath takes more time to search the element on the page, right? On the other hand, XPath is giving you additional features. For example, you can search elements using text as well. You can search elements in a backward way. For example, you were using parent to search the parent elements. Here in CSS selectors you do not have that provision that you move to the elements from child to parent, right? And also you do not have flexibility to search elements using the text part of it. Okay, so these are kind of differences, but it totally depends on you that if you want to have the locators searched at more speed, then you go with CSS selector. There is also one point that you need to take care as CSS selectors generally fail on Internet Explorer. It was failing a lot on the earlier versions of Internet Explorer. You need to explore whether that works fine on the new versions of Internet Explorer or Edge browser. If that works fine for you, then you can use this strategy also. Otherwise, you can use XPath as well. Alright, so moving on to the first rule. Let's say we want to search element using the tag name using CSS selector. So we can see here we have a h3 element whose text is shifting content, right? So if you want to search using tag name, you just need to give that tag name and hit enter, and you will get the number of elements matching that criteria. Here you can see that it gives only one result. Okay, so not always you would be getting the right result here in the Chrome for searching using the tag name. The reason is because this particular search option allow you to search using string as well as CSS selector, right? So when we're talking about XPath, it always starts with double slash, but since CSS selector starts like a normal string, and let's say if you search for a P, it not only gives you the P tags, but it also finds P anywhere in that entire HTML. But still, if you use this as a CSS selector, this is the right selector for all the elements on the page who have tag name as P, right? So it doesn't matter what count you get here, but if you use it as a selector, as a CSS selector, it would only give you all the paragraph tags on the page, right? So the next one is let's say we want to talk about child elements. So we see here we have a div with class example. So we, let's say, do not talk about attributes for the time being. We only talk about the tag names. So we have a div, under that we have h3, right? So we go to div and we want to talk about the immediate child or the direct child. So for direct child you need to use greater than symbol and then h3. Okay, so this way you would be able to reach from this div to this h3. Okay, so now let's say we want to talk about indirect child. So let's say we have this body and somewhere in between we had this h3, right? So what if I use body and then if I search for h3 like this, right? Since h3 is not an immediate child of this body, it comes under a certain set of divs. So if you want to search anywhere in that body, you need to put a space, right? So this gives you flexibility to search that element h3 relatively under this body and not absolute path like we had in XPath. So for XPath, we were using single slash for direct child or absolute path, and double slash for relative path. So here space is equivalent to double slashes and greater than symbol is equivalent to single slash. I hope so far this is clear that how to search the elements using tag name and how to search immediate and indirect child. So in XPath we have seen that how to search elements using tag names and different attributes, and we have also seen that how to reach to the element using index in XPath. Here we cannot give index in square brackets or round brackets like that we were giving there, but yes, we do have a function that is nth child, right? So once you have that child element set selected, so for example select option gives me 3 elements and option is the child of this. So I want to go to nth child of it. So what I can do is I can put a colon and then I can use the function nth hyphen child, and in brackets I can give the number which element I want to access. Now it says that it is the only element that I'm targeting. If I put 2, I'll get second element. If I put 4, no elements. If I put 3, that is third element. Okay, so this is how you can search for tag names. You can search for child elements, immediate child and indirect childs, and also the child elements using index. Okay, so I hope these set of rules are so far clear to you. Moving on to the next one, we have also seen functions like starts with, ends with, and something like contains. So for that we also have an alternate in CSS selectors. For example, this select has id drop down. And before moving to that, let us first try to find elements using attributes, right? Because we have not covered it yet. So select with id drop down. Okay, so for id and classes we have a special symbol or a special shortcut which we can use in CSS selectors. So if I use select and if I want to search this select using an id, so I just need to put this hash symbol and give the id name. So the id name is drop down. Okay, so it selects that element. So for id we use hash. Okay, and similarly if I want to search something for using class name, for example this div is having class example, so for that we put dot, so div dot example. Okay, so this way I can search for elements using class name. Now let us try to search this div with id content. So for that, what would be the selector? So if you want to search for any other attribute, how you can do is you can put the tag name and then you need to put these square brackets and give the tag name, right? Remember that you do not need to use @ symbol before the attribute name, and you just need to give the value as it is. So we can put the value here. So for example, that value was this github.com. If I copy the link address from here and paste it here, let's see if that works. Yeah, this works. Okay, so it gives us one element, right? Now we want to search for elements that starts with HTTPS. Okay, obviously we are comparing href equals HTTPS and we do not have any object matching this criteria. That's why we are getting 0 results here, but we are searching for starts with. So for starts with, the operator changes from equal to before that we need to put the caret symbol. Okay, so caret equals means that you are searching for something that starts with that text. Okay, so we get one element that matches the criteria. Alright, so similarly if you want to search for ends with, so we can use $= in that case. So $= internet. So that also selects this element. Similarly, if you want to search for something that contains a particular text, in that case what you can do is we can use $=. Okay, so star means anywhere in that text. Okay, so in this href we are searching for, let's say, GitHub, and we are getting that element. Okay, so this way you can search for elements. Don't worry if it is overflowing, because I am talking about a lot of rules. First I talked about XPath and now I'm talking about different rules for CSS selectors. So it is not easy to remember all these rules in one go. All you need to do is you need to practice all these rules at least once, so that you can remember them and you can use them later. So for your reference, I am going to attach all these rules as a separate sheet in this course. You can take reference from there. Now let us see another example where we have this div with class large 2 space columns, right? So that means there are 2 classes for this element, and if you want to search for this, so div dot large 2, right? So for this first class it gives me that locator. So it is not mandatory that you use all the classes. It is okay if you use some of them and get the unique element. Okay, if you want to use multiple classes, you need to replace this space with dot. So dot columns. Okay, so this way you can search using multiple classes. Okay, now the question is, if I have a div and under that we have multiple elements with different tags. So for example, here we have an anchor tag and vr tag and then again anchor tag, and if I had to select the second anchor tag and let's say there were no br tags in between, you were able to use nth child function to find that child using index number. So let us take that example. So if I talk about direct childs and if I give anchor here, this way I would be able to reach to that particular element, right? And if I use nth child function, so nth child 1 would take me to the first element, and if I use nth child 2, it is not giving me any results. The reason is, when we talk about second child, that second child is not having tag name as A, right? So you are not sure about the tag names in this case, so you cannot use this kind of technique there, right? If you are actually targeting for second anchor tag, right? But irrespective of it, if you want to target for the second element, then you would have probably have used star here instead of the tag name, and you could directly reach to any particular type of tag name using star, right? But what if we specifically want to target anchor tags, right? In that case you use anchor tag here, and instead of nth child you need to use the function named as nth of type, right? So this way you would be able to target that element of that particular type that you define here. So if you put 1, it would select first element of that type. If you put 2, you would be able to select second element of that type. So these two functions are very important to understand, nth child and nth of type. Now let us say that you do not know the count of elements under this div and you want to reach to the last element of this div, right? So what we can do is we can use a colon last child like this. Okay, so it gives us 0 results. The reason for this is because the last child of this particular div is not having anchor tag, and if I use star here I would be able to get the last element. Okay, but if you want to extract the last anchor tag which is matching the criteria, so for that you put anchor tag, and instead of last child again you need to use last of type function, and it would take you to that particular element which is matching the type as well. Alright, so the next one is if you want to search from last and you want to say search for second last element or third last element. Okay, so for that what you can do is you can use nth last of type or nth last child functions. Okay, so if I use nth last child function, I know that I do not know the tag name for that. So nth last child, and if I give the index number, it takes me to that third br, right? If I put 2, it takes me to the second last child of it. Okay, similarly if I use nth last of type, let's say second one I'm targeting and the type is, let's say, anchor, so it takes me to the second last anchor tag, which is the middle element. Okay, so I hope these functions are clear. First we talked about nth child, then we spoke about nth of type, right? Then we spoke about last child and last of type, right? Then we spoke about nth of last of type and nth of last of child. So we discussed about last element or nth element functions, but we have not discussed about first element functions. And yes, we do have functions for first child and first of type, right? So first child is this one, and if you do not know the type, again you can put asterisk here, and if you want to search first of type, you can use the tag name as well, like this. Okay, if you put br, then first of type would be this element. Okay, so I hope these are clear to you. Now another point to note here is we cannot search elements using text using CSS selectors, right? That flexibility or that function was available in XPath, but in CSS selector we do not have that function. The reason is because CSS selectors mainly targets element using the styling and not for any other properties, right? So when we talk about style, we do not talk about the inner text or other things, right? So that's why this feature is not available in CSS selectors. But still, if you want to search for this element, you can use other properties, for example href. So if you want to search this element anchor tag, and if you know the href, so you can use href equals and then ab test. Alright, so we are able to reach to this element. Next we target for a challenging DOM, right? So here we see a table, right? And in that table we have a lot of text in different rows and columns, right? And we do have some links as well, right? So we have edit and delete links, right? We see that the text is almost similar, and for these links the text is exactly same, right? So let's say we want to target for this particular element. Okay, so specifically let's say the fourth row, and we want to target this edit link. So we see the properties. If I just take this inspector over here, I will try to first of all study the behavior here in the HTML source. So for that you need to expand the HTML source, and you need to visualize where this element is actually present. Okay, so here you can see it is under a TD. It is of anchor tag, and the href is, let's say, hash edit. So it comes under a TD, that is fine. If we try to search for all the TDs and that have, for example, if I put TD here and who have direct child as anchor and who have the href as edit, right? So this way we are able to get 10 elements, right? Because there were 10 rows, right? Now we need to target for the fourth one, right? So in this case we cannot use nth child or nth of type functions. Reason is we don't know the parent of them, right? Unless you know the parent, you won't be able to use nth of child or nth of type in for indexing, right? So first of all you need to have the common parent, which helps us in taking to that nth child, and then we can further dig down to reach to these elements. So we'll see it above. Here we can see that this td comes under this tr, and if we see here, if I collapse all these, I can see that this tr is at under t body, and there are multiple trs, right? So tr is actually table rows, and every tr tag represent one table row, and this entire set of TRs come under T body, and these come under table, right? So if I cut this part for the timing, if I search how many tables do we have, so there is only one table, right? We can see here. And if I search for T table and T body, so you can see that there is only one such T body and table available on the page. Right now we need to target for TDs, right? So we are targeting for the fourth row, right? So nth of child need to be used at this layer because T body has these children, right? So we need to target for the fourth row of this parent. So this ID or this particular tag name need to be included, and you can say that immediate child of it tr, and here you can say nth of type, let's say 4. Now you are able to reach to the fourth row, right? So after this you can paste the same thing that you have copied earlier, which is td with anchor and all these properties, right? So that is how you would be able to reach to that element. Okay, so this would be the complete CSS selector for that element. All right, so we have covered a lot of things for CSS selectors. The only part that is left is practice, right? So now you need to pick up any sample application or any practice application, or you can pick any real life example as well, or any application like Amazon or Facebook or whatever, and you can try to find locators using XPath and CSS techniques. So I'll see you in the next video with the next topic.